anytime, any day. Why not right now? Stop looking up to your boss and start being your own boss. Don't work for paychecks. Work for dreams with no regrets. This is Cracking the Entrepreneur Code. If you have the passion, we'll create the blueprint. Now, your host. You know him from his 7 tips to build the business you always wanted, and now you're about to hear a lot more. Jack H.M. Wong.
Welcome to another episode of Cracking the Entrepreneur Code podcast. I'm your host, Jack Wong. Okay, so we make a request. We find coaches and mentors. What's next after this? Well, let me ask you this question. What is your business goal for 2017 that you have set for yourself? Have you achieved that? Well, if you haven't, that's fine, because you can make adjustments. Well, there's still literally about 40 more days, 50 days more before the end of 2017, you can make adjustment. But let's start assuming that you are now setting a business goal for 2018. And when you said you want to set a business goal for 2018, I want you to understand that when I ask for a business goal, I'm not saying that I want to reach I want my business to reach a 7-digit revenue target or net profit target by end of next year. I'm not looking for that kind of business goal, but I want you to start by looking at this thing called mission. Because if you have a mission that's very clear, you know what? The way in which you conduct your business that hopefully will help you hit the revenue target, your net profit target will be there. Because many people zoom down into the financial goals and say, I want to make $1 million in this year, or for that matter, in next 12 months. And I very often ask, why is it $1 million? And you know what? The cool thing they say is because there's such a word called millionaire. Millionaire is a person who makes millions of dollars. So it is a 7-figure thing, isn't it? And I said, okay, that's very interesting. Let me ask you this question. How do you make your $1 million in the first place? You see there's a moment of silence because that person is now processing. I actually have no idea. Well, I know what I will do more training, I will consult more clients, I will look for new clients. You see, the person start winging it. The problem is that I've seen so many people who focus a lot on the financial goal and as if the financial goal is the target for the business. I want to take this opportunity to actually help you pull yourself out to have a bigger picture, to understand, okay, what is the business proposition you have. So for example, I said to this particular, I had this incident again a few days ago, and the person is a fashion person. It's like he teaches people how to dress well, how to impress people, what to say in networking events. Then I asked the person, okay, good. So what is actually your business proposition? Well, I just want to help people to be more impressive so that they can stand out. Okay, so who are your target audiences? I actually don't know. Is that anyone who wants to be helped, I'm here to help. Okay, so I asked, so what exactly is your primary target audience then? All entrepreneurs. Oh, interesting. All entrepreneurs. Specifically, what types of entrepreneurs? So you see, there was a moment of silence because what he said was, I'm serving all entrepreneurs. And the fact majority what I knew from my coaching session with Alex Mendosian many years ago, there's no such thing called all entrepreneurs or all people. In fact, if you do not know your demographics and psychographics of your audiences, you can't really solve the problems. So I want to bring this up because your mission is to improve the life of quality people. That's what Jack has said in his business proposition. But that is the mission. That is a very big statement, which is important because whatever I do, whether it's in business, in coaching, in consulting, or striking deals, my mission is to see, my job is to see whether the thing that I'm doing is actually improve the quality of life of the people, which is something in accordance with our mission, the mission from Blessing Us Training Academy. That's good. Having said that, now I have to zoom down to these people. Who are the people that I can help? Why? The thing is that I obviously can't help everyone. I mean, there are people who will not be interested in my help. So should I spend time to help them? No, of course, I don't waste my time. Okay, so should I help the old folks, age 65 and above? They're never my target audiences. In fact, I can't stand working with old folks because in Asia, from my experience, many old folks are the knowers. I mean, I've talked about knowers a few episodes ago. They don't want to be helped because they said, like, there's a very interesting Chinese phrase, which if I translate to English is, I eat salt more than you eat rice. Now, this doesn't make any sense from English language perspective. I eat salt more than you eat rice basically is, I know more than you because of my experience. I have more experience than you. So that is the translation in English language. So in essence, that is also not my target audience. So what am I helping? Well, depends on what types of activities I'm doing. I have specific groups of audiences. Like in my tax practice, I chose not to focus on the SMEs, the solopreneurs, or the small companies. Why? Because I know that they can't pay me. They can't afford my fee. And it's not worth my time spending on them. That's what I know. On the other hand, how about the multinational corporations? Well, I know that these guys can afford my fee because the value I give can support the fee I'm charging. So I make a very, very clear decision when I'm doing my tax practice. I only serve multinational clients. What I still help solopreneurs and some self-employed on solving their tax problem. Essentially what I'm doing is just to give them very, very simple information and get them out. They don't worth my time spending on them. That's how I've chosen. So I know my demographics very well. And what exactly would they need? Well, the psychographics tells me that they will not need my help by giving them tax planning advice. Because in my life, a lot of people do not treasure the importance of tax planning. I know it's a very big thing in North America. However, in Asia, the context and the culture is such that people will only ask for help when they are in trouble. So instead of doing tax planning, I do a lot of firefighting exercises in Singapore and this region, which makes my price even more expensive because when they seriously are in trouble, they are willing to pay premium to get the problems solved. So I know the demographics and psychographics pretty well for my tax practice. So for you, what is your demographics and your psychographics of your audiences? In other words, what are the ages, gender, race? What are their buying behavior, their income level, their education level? What do they need? What do they want? Do they come to you often or how many times a week, a month? And normally what would they say to you? What would they ask you for? You need to know all this very well. You don't need to have the exact answer, my friends, but you do need to know and you make your constant adjustment every now and then. Okay? So I give this lesson to this guy who said, I'm here to help all entrepreneurs. I said, well, at the end, you've got a problem. It's not all entrepreneurs you can help. So define exactly who you can help. Then he said, well, I'm looking for people who are young. Good, at least now it's a narrower scope of people. So the next few things I did with him is to sort out the demographics and psychographics. And you see the beautiful thing about this is once you know these psychographics and demographics of your target audiences, you know exactly how to fine-tune your ability to solve the problem. There's always a very interesting thing that I share in my training. I say it doesn't matter what problems you solve. you need to know who are you helping. Because if you don't know who, how are you supposed to help them? How are you supposed to frame the problem, your solution to them? So you do need to know your target audiences. And whatever you do, that has to be supported and be aligned with the mission of your business. So in this episode, let me summarize. You need to know exactly your business mission, not just your financial goals, because your business mission supports what you do. And when you do the right thing, as Bucky Fuller says, when you do what you do that is aligned with your life purpose, the money will be the result. The money will just flow to you easily and regularly. And number 2, once you figure out your mission is not done yet, the exercise requires you to identify your target audiences, know who you can help so that you can help them define the problems you can solve. Or find the solution, like I said in the previous episode, help them find the solution to solve their problems. All right? So you see there's so many entrepreneurship principles. And in the next few episodes, what I'm going to do is I'm going to discuss some of these entrepreneurship principles one by one so that you get more insight from my experience, from my sharing. Okay, so thank you for listening to this episode. If you have any comments, questions, let me know. And you have friends, peers, and colleagues whom you think or feel that they will benefit from this episode, please share my message with them. All right? And thank you for listening to this episode. And you know what? Be relentless. And to end this episode, I will say, know your mission, know your target audiences. Cracking the Entrepreneur Code podcast. See you in next episode. Bye.
To continue cracking the Entrepreneur Code, subscribe for more episodes and download the Amazon bestseller, Cracking the Entrepreneur Code, 7 Tips to Build the Business You Always Wanted at crackingentrepreneur.com. Learn more about author and host Jack H.M. Wong and book your 30-minute discovery session to overcome any professional challenge at jackhmwong.com/apply.